Hey
Hi.
y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou.
And I'm cpredmor on Ravelry. And if I'm posting as Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. And I hope everybody's safe. For those of you who are in the New York City area, you know that we're on our winter storm warning watch. Dire straits is happening. They're talking about overnight getting something like 3 to 5 or 1 to 5 inches, even on Long Island. Yes, it is December.
Well, last year we had snow on November 15th.
Exactly.
Ask me how I know.
We know. I had to go out that day too. And after we
we had a concrete pour on the site.
We're going to have to go and exchange cars because my car's at her house and her car's here. So we're going to run and do that before it gets worse outside.
Yes.
Meanwhile, it is December 1st, and do we know what that means? Yes!
Advent calendars!
It means the beginning of Advent calendars. So
we didn't stop by the apartment before getting here yesterday because we were very focused on getting home.
I was exhausted.
Because Mom was driving, and it was a long day yesterday.
6.5 hours.
I don't have my Advent calendars, but we have Mom's!
That's right. And we can open yours next week and open the rest of mine next week.
Well, I was going to just post them to the Instagram.
Oh, were you? Oh,
yeah.
That's an idea. All right, so this is the
Yarn Cafe Creations. Yarn Creations Cafe, something like that.
The suicide prevention.
For Project Semicolon.
Right. And this is gorgeous. I can't tell you how beautiful this is.
It is Stranded Dye Works. And it's a beautiful color.
Merino nylon.
It's on merino nylon, and it's from Great Britain.
It's beautiful.
And it just...
I love the colors.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love these colors. This is right in my wheelhouse. So this is very exciting. All right, let's go to the next one. This is Asylum Fiber.
Yay!
Asylum put stamps on her bag.
And hers is Alice in Wonderland themed.
Yes. And I did get notes with the other Advent calendars, these two Advent calendars, Silent Fiber and
Earl Grey Fiber
Company, saying that there were some unnumbered bags in their boxes also. I did not go through them like I did with the first one, mainly because I knew I'd be opening them really soon. Look at this piece of loveliness, and it sparkles.
It's on her...
fingering sock, 75% merino, 20% nylon.
Called Twinkle Toes Mini. And
5% stellina.
It's Absalom.
It is beautiful.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
One of my favorite colors by her.
I love it. I love it. Yes. And then...
So this colorway is called Rose... It's on the sticker. It's called Rose Petal Macaron. I think you open it from that side.
Macaron.
I think you're opening the bottom of the bag, but okay.
All right.
I'm just saying it might be easier from the top.
I don't think so. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Look at this.
Big fan.
Oh, tremendous fan. This is fantastic. So this is Rose Petal Macaron. This is fingering. I know that much because that's what I signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look it up and see if it has any nylon in it. It is plied, which is nice.
Yep.
This is fantastic.
That is lovely.
It could go with that.
All three of them could go together.
Or it could go with that. Or you're right. All three could go together.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Look at this. Oh, look at this. Fantastic. Well, that's my excitement for today. I barely can stand it. I have been working on... I have not been working on the
baby gifts because you are still ill.
Well, I think by Wednesday I should be able to finish this sweater. So this is just lacking the cuff of sleeve 1 and then sleeve 2. The opening and the button band have already been done. So I'm hoping that by Wednesday my problem right now is I wake up and I've got this dry patch in my throat. So I have no voice again until I can drink something. And I guess you can hear it's not quite right yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting there. So I hope that this will be finished by the weekend. So that would be lovely. And that would be 3 out of 4 of our sweaters done. But while we were gone, down to Virginia for Thanksgiving, I worked on my Varna.
Yeah.
Look at this. So probably the
back.
inside.
It's
yes.
beautiful.
This is the back. It has the engineered sleeve caps, which means that if normally
the fully fashioned one?
Yes, it has fully fashioned sleeves. So you would do 8, I would do 8.5 inches, and it would square off like this. Instead, you take about 1.5 inches off of the back and you add it onto the front. So my front will flap over and make a match along that line. And they fit extremely well. And in fact, I think it was the fully fashioned shoulder that caught your attention.
It was.
So anyway, this is obviously tunic length. It's perfect tunic length. I did the pattern. You do 5 repeats of the decrease. So from here, there's a row 1 decrease, and then there's 5 more decrease rows, and then I had to knit 2.5 more inches in order to get the right length. I'm working on the front, and the front actually has a pattern in the front, which I didn't remember. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
So there is a pattern that goes up the front, if you can see it. So there's knit 5, purl 1, knit 7, purl 1, knit 5, purl 1, and then it's the moss stitch. Yeah, not quite healthy. And then the rest of it matches the back. I've done the first decrease, and then I believe I'm on rows. I've done 6 rows of the first 22 row pattern. So I don't know how much of this I'll get done. I do have homework that needs to be graded tonight, so I'll do that after I come home in the car. And then I have tomorrow. But I have class on Tuesday, and I have class on Wednesday, and Wednesday's going to be a long day because of the regular class time, and then we had the presentation from 1 to 2. So.
And it's knit night.
And it's knit night. So well, it depends on how I feel as to whether I get over to knit night.
Right.
If I'm not much better than this, I don't know that I'm going to show up, because no one needs this at this time of year.
No.
No one does. This. So we will just have to see. And that is all that I've been doing, but I really do think that that's a lot. Nothing else came in the mail this week. We showed you pom-pom and knits and all of that kind of stuff. I did not go yarn shopping over Thanksgiving as we normally do. One, I knew I had these advent calendars, so plus all of this back here. And I didn't have any projects that were in dire need of yarn. So at this moment, unless I've got some reason for needing yarn, I'm not going to go trolling for yarn.
Are we trying to knit down the stash?
No, we're just working with the stash, basically. I don't need to add to the stash unless I'm desperate for something, is I think what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I have these 3 advent calendars, so I have that excitement coming that way. Certainly Fiberspace has been very good to me in terms of being a resource for finding great yarn, and that probably will never change. It's just that I've managed to create a stockpile that I don't need to be thinking of 7 or 8 projects that could use yarn and then running into the store as we did for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's with me. What about you?
So I'm still working on my swatch gift over here. It's supposed to be shipped out tomorrow. It's not going to be shipped out tomorrow because
it won't be done.
It won't be done. And also I haven't been to the apartment, so I don't know if some of the extras have shown up, but there were still a few extras I was waiting on as of Wednesday.
Okay.
So that. Also, unfortunately, I had a coworker pass away over the weekend, and my hands...
Unexpectedly.
Well, unexpected in terms of we thought she would have more time. It was cancer, and essentially it was,
terminal.
Extremely terminal, but, everyone thought she would at least get through the holidays. So...
Lovely woman.
Yeah, Mom has met her before. She sat with us at the Christmas party last year.
Yes.
And apparently, my brains and hands really wanted to make something for her daughter instead. So I have been diligently working since last night after we came back, and my hands just weren't... I don't know if if any of you have experienced it, but you want to knit, but your hands just aren't doing it. It's a very weird feeling because you're like, I want to knit, and
let's get on with this.
Let's get on with this. But your hands are like, no, this is not what we're gonna knit on. I'm like, excuse you. So I decided that it was probably because I was thinking about dye and that I wanted to make something for her daughter. So, I am making the skeleton by Beata from Hedgehog Fibers. I am making it out of Lion's Brand, Woolies, Thick and Quick. I'm making it out of Impeccable by Loops and Threads. And, where's the fingering weight?
All easily washable.
Yes, that was the whole point of going to Michael's instead of stash diving. And then Wool-like by Loops and Threads as well. All extremely washable, so I just, I wanted it to be easily taken care of. The pattern, I think I'm knitting it at a closer gauge, but I didn't do a swatch because I was just like, I'm just gonna do it.
And it's a shawl.
It's a shawl. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep knitting until I reach the center spine depth that is noted in the pattern, or until I run out of yarn.
That works.
So it's actually looking really beautiful. Her daughter's favorite colors are purple. So I'm working on that. Also because we found out on Friday, and the woman I found out from is one of my good friends who Dye was like her work mom. So I have yarn to make her something. She essentially only wears black. So I picked up... So I also did not want to knit anything overly complicated in black yarn. So I picked up some Woolies, Thick and Quick, in black for that. I still haven't really picked a pattern yet. I think I'm going to do... Ow! I think I'm going to do one by Andrea Rangel, that, the Sentiment by Andrea Rangel. It's just really beautiful.
Nice.
And
that's
I think
really
it'll
pretty.
be lovely for... I'll write it down. I think it'll be lovely in black, and it'll be pretty quick and easy to knit up, which should hopefully assuage all of my wants, or, fingers wanting to do something not necessarily that they're supposed to want to do. Because as I have mentioned, I still have the test knit that I'm working on. And I have the baby blankets. Oh, no, I finished the one for Cieslak. I showed you all that last week. I did add the 2 rows on the sides. I did that on, I think, Wednesday while I was waiting for the cousins to come up. And I also have been working on my Ursa, which...
Her father keeps asking whether it's Ursa Major or Ursa Minor.
And I almost want to hit him.
It's a dad joke.
It's a bad dad joke. So I am at the point of separating for sleeves.
Cool.
I wanted to do that this weekend, but I also want to put it on before I separate for sleeves just because I am messing with the gauge and, stitch counts and stuff. So I was going to do that last night, but then I caught the wild hair to go to Michael's instead. So I think...
She said she was going to Michael's. I went, bye.
Yeah, she said, okay. It was fine. I was in and out. I was back home in like a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. But yeah, this is out of the My Yak Chunky Yak. It's absolutely lovely to work with. I do want to keep knitting on this. I want to hopefully have it done by Christmas, which I think I can do. But I do now have those 2 shawls that I want to do before that. But we'll see. I'm honestly just, I have a bunch of things on the needles, and right now I'm just saying, okay, whatever makes my brain happy to work on at that time.
What is it that you're wearing?
I'm wearing my Ninilchik Not So Swan Show.
Yes.
Which I wore, which I made smaller in the body and brought the sleeves up, as noted previously. Yep. It's one of my favorite things to wear. Was it this week? It must have been last week, but I wore it last week, and someone walked into my office, and on the cabinet next to me, which is not my cabinet, it's Frank's cabinet, is an ultrasound photo of his daughter from over a year ago, because his daughter is now 1. She saw that. She turned to me. This is also a subcontractor who is not one of my subcontractors. She turns to me, looks me up and down in this sweater, which is oversized, goes, "Are you pregnant?" Everyone should be very proud of me for not cursing her out right then. Because all of the guys in my office just stopped. And they were like... And I was like, no, that's Frank's daughter. She's turning 1, this next month. And she's just like, oh. And like, I was just like...
It's an oversized sweater.
But also like, why do you think that was okay? So, just a PSA out there.
30 years ago it would have been.
It's not okay now at all.
I know. I'm just saying, if she was stuck in a time warp.
No, she's just dumb.
Okay.
But everyone, PSA.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yes.
Keep those thoughts to yourself. Mind you, our scheduler, also a woman, came in and saw the photo, and she goes, "Oh, whose sonogram is that?"
That's a good thing to say.
And I was like, "Oh, it's, Frank's." And she goes, "Oh." And because Frank has photos of his little one at his desk, which happens to be across the room, but we don't have enough space for him to have his filing cabinet by his desk.
Whatever.
And I was like, that is the proper way to say these things. Sorry, it really bugged me.
And you also bought more yarn.
So I did, and that was where I was going.
Oh.
I mentioned more baby blankets. Yeah. So...
Definitely Michael's.
Yeah, definitely Michael's. It was funny. My cousins came in and saw my apartment for the first time on Wednesday night, and so of course
because they came up to see the parade at her office on Thursday.
Yes.
We drove down to Virginia on Wednesday with her suitcase.
Yes.
We went to 2 Thanksgiving dinners, which was lovely. We had a really good time. Got to see all my cousins, and then we already had her suitcase in the hotel room waiting for her when they came down by train. Exhausted. Oh, yeah. It was bad. We were all very grumpy because we only got 4 hours of sleep. But you enjoyed watching the parade.
Oh, yeah. It was lovely. And we joked that my VP is my work dad, essentially, because he has dad moments, and then I get overexcited about things, and he calls those my daughter moments. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. It's all good. But I met his wife, I met his kids, he met my cousins. We had brought in champagne and snacks, and everyone loved the fact that we brought snacks. And they were like, "You brought champagne?" And we were like, "Yeah." So it was a lot of fun. I'll try and post some photos this week from that. But I decided to pick up the yarn for Miss Fiona's... oh gosh, it's
Baby
the Vertices Unite by Stephen West, And so it's based on the colors in this skein, because it's kind of rainbowy. And the Fiona's mom is kind of going rainbowy with her stuff right now, so I'm going to use that as one of the colors. That's and nice. What all of the rest of them are pulled from. And on Friday night, I figured out what the order is going to be. So it actually shouldn't be all that bad because it's all in garter.
Yeah. As usual with Stephen West.
And it should be pretty fun. Again, it's out of Impeccable by Loops and Threads because it's a good workhorse yarn. And it doesn't even feel all that crunchy. It feels good. So I picked that up. And then I also picked up...
Now, my niece, having seen her apartment, said, why are you buying more yarn? Don't you have enough? And of course, we all know there is never enough. But also, the yarn that is all over her apartment is the hand-dyed 100% wool or merino or
even if it's
cashmere.
Superwashed, it's fine, but not for a baby blanket.
Right.
You've
got to be able to feel that it's okay if this thing ends up under the car tire. You know?
Or in that puddle of mud.
It's going to.
So it has to be able to be thrown in the washer on high and the dryer on high.
Yes.
And as much as I trust Superwash, because I do throw my own sweaters in, you know, sometimes if they've gotten a stain on them or something, I will throw them in on medium high.
Right.
And I mean, I'll make baby sweaters out of the hand-dyed Superwash. But that's different.
It just is different.
There's a difference then to mud and or getting run over by the car to baby spit up.
Yeah.
Or baby food. Like,
there's, as we know, all kinds of things happen to baby paraphernalia.
Yes.
So what else?
So
anything else?
I was inspired by this color scheme. You can kind of see it. Color scheme that I found online. And so I picked up yarn for it's called Exchange, and it's a shawl. It's called the Exchange, and it's a shawl, and it was designed for plied yarns, and that's how I found out about it. But I also think it would make a great baby blanket. It could double as both. So here is a photo of Carita from Plied / Neighborhood Fiber Co. in the shawl. And then they added buttons so that you could wear it as a poncho. So I think it's also good for, say, a nursing mom.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And my freshman year roommate, she just had her son in October. And she's not expecting anything, but considering my first reaction when I got his photo was, oh my god, he's perfect, he needs a sweater. He's going to get a sweater, but he's also going to get this blanket shawl thing for her and him. And these are the colors that were as close as I could get to that photo. And I think they'll be it's really fall-like, and he's a fall baby, and I think it'll work out really well. Again, this is out of Wool-like by Loops and Threads. It's super soft. I ended up getting a few other colors, too, because I only was able to get half at one Michael's, and then I got the rest at another. Or I got 3 colors at the first Michael's. I got the gray, the burgundy, and the purple. You've got the burgundy in your hand. And I couldn't find the green that I wanted, and so I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I picked out both of the colors of green. Yes, these are 2 different colors of green. You really can't tell.
Not on the screen, but in person a little.
A little. So I think I'm going to go with the deeper, the olive green and the sage green. And then I also had picked up this yellow. Which is lovely. And I don't know. I like...
It would make a great little boy sweater.
Yeah, I might do something with these 2 guys.
I like that.
But we'll see. So, first, I also think that the sweater / the blankets will be good to carry around this holiday season. I've got a bunch. Maybe not going to... Well, the Vertices I think will be good for going to work. I think the exchange will be good. I've got we're going down to Virginia again.
Yes.
I think...
talk about that. Maybe next weekend. Figure out the dates.
Yeah. Because I'm going out to Pittsburgh, I think. Not next weekend, the weekend after.
That's why I said next weekend.
I know.
Okay.
So I've got a lot of driving in my future or sitting in the car being a passenger. So I think I'm going to have a good amount of knitting time, but I always say that, but who knows if that's going to be true. So I'd like to at least get these things on the move.
Yes.
But I also really want to get some sweaters for me done, because I have not really done a sweater since the Humulus, because we've had all these little people have just
been sprouting.
Well, as my cousin was saying, you have a lot of yarn, and I'm like, people keep procreating, and I do not have proper yarn for new procreated people.
No.
And she just looked at me, to which I almost responded with, I'm sleep deprived. This is how my brain processed this. Deal with it.
That's right.
But yeah, so it should be really good. I'm really pleased with the colors. And I got it all at Michael's, so I don't think I really spent all that much with all the sales that were going on for Black Friday, because I did get the Vertices Unite, the black wool ease, and half of the woolite yarn on Black Friday, and the rest I got yesterday, so I got some discounts on those. But other than that, and all in all, less than $20 for a blanket yarn. I'd say it's not a bad deal. But
very good.
Yeah, it's a short week, but we also have to get the car, or get Mom's car. And Mom is, I don't know if you can tell, but she's got some nervous energy going on right now about
talking about frozen streets.
And so she obviously wants to go and get the car. So we're gonna get this posted, and then we're gonna head out.
Get the car.
Yeah. So we will see you all next week. Bye.